Nightside Project. Finish the day happy with Ethan Millard and Alex Keary on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the Nightside Project. I'm Ethan Millard here with Alex Keary. Another great episode from up here in Park City. We just had the best time getting to know some of the amazing talent and hearing some of the amazing stories up here. Tonight we have a very special interview. This is the director of the film that was featured on opening night at Slamdance Film Festival. And it was featured, and I guess this was deliberate, or maybe it was coincidental, the day of Donald Trump's inauguration. Yeah. Because this is, I guess what you would call it, is something of a political thriller. It's an investigative documentary. Cullen Hoback is joining us. And Cullen, tell us a little bit about this film. Was it on purpose or just a coincidence that you aired this film, you premiered this film, opened the festival, the same day Donald Trump was inaugurated?
Oh, I mean, I coordinated everything. I got Donald Trump elected, and then it was the inauguration.
Are you Russian, bro?
It was you. We knew it. Because it's, I mean, your film is not about Donald Trump, but it kind of is, isn't it?
I mean, it is a case study that explains what an America under Donald Trump will look like. So, I mean, in a way, it's about Donald Trump, but it opens and closes with Donald Trump, and then we do kind of a deep dive into the political situation in West Virginia. And then that situation shows us exactly what we can kind of expect for drinking water in America and for our regulatory system that's supposed to protect us.
If no one is caring for it, if no one is making sure that those institutions, those rules are robust, then we'll suffer the consequences.
I was fascinated because the West Virginia thing came up, and of course, the thing that everybody know, it seems like we know about is Flint. You know, we think about Flint, we think about the drinking water, and I had no idea about this chemical that we knew nothing about that gets dumped into a river. I mean, this is what we're talking about, what lies upstream, right? This chemical, what is it, first of all, and what happened in this place in West Virginia because of it? And this is where the misinformation and the very calculated information distribution, I guess, happens on complicated chemicals. What chemical was it? What happened?
All right. Well, the chemical that's spilled is called MCHM, and you're right, people didn't know anything about it. There was very little information. And this chemical got into the drinking water supply, and 300,000 people were suddenly poisoned. The CDC didn't know what the effects would actually be, the local government didn't know what the effects would be, and so the impetus, the first question I asked when starting on this project was, well, gosh, why? How did something like this manage to sneak into a drinking water supply? And you know, the only way it was discovered was by the smell. And then that has to make you ask the question, well, gosh, what else are we missing? Right?
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't come with any.
Well, and how would a layperson recognize and know what to watch for, or what to smell for?
Well, I mean, you couldn't. If your water doesn't have a strange coloration all of a sudden, or you smell. In this case, licorice is what it smelled like.
Oh wow!
You would just go ahead and drink it, and in fact, in this case, there's a private water company that provides water to more than half of this, like about half of the state. 300,000 customers. So that company actually has a lot of incentive to hide contaminations. They have, they are publicly traded.
And like a lot of utilities, they kind of have the monopoly over a lot of. They're the choice.
Yeah, where else are you going to get your water?
They're your choice for water in a lot of places. And
your choice? No, there's no choice.
No, I know. It's like
you get it or you don't.
Your choice. No, you better get it. So with this, and I saw an interview with Jill Stein too about this. Tell me about your interview with Jill Stein. She was obviously, I don't know when in the process of the presidential race that interview happened, but obviously she was like, look, this is a problem because we have a lot of great people that are in our system that are actually scientifically trained. They know what they're talking about. And then there's the political side of things too that come with all of this.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, look, scientists want, by and large, to do the right thing. They've been trained in having highly ethical standards. But when you force a scientist to decide between feeding their family or doing whatever they're told, oftentimes scientists will choose to do what they're told.
Right.
And so there's this trickle-down effect that happens. It's a byproduct of political appointments, which are a byproduct of political agendas. So you see this play out in West Virginia, you're going to see it play out nationally. For gosh sakes, we already have, climate change skeptic appointed, not skeptic, denialist, appointed to lead the EPA. And the same kind of ideology was, this guy, Myron Ebell. He's a leading climate change denialist, and he's the one who shaped the entire future of the EPA and Trump. So you can imagine the kind of science that you might expect. Because as I'm sure you know, I mean, look, climate change is not, there's no room for debate in the scientific community. Yet this is the kind of person we're going to have leading the scientific dialogue moving forward in our governmental agencies.
Are you prepared to hear from Trump supporters?
Have you already? I'm sure you have.
Oh,
right?
I mean, this film really is for everyone. It's for Trump supporters. I came at it from a nonpartisan perspective. I didn't think Trump would be elected, and if you're talking about Trump, you have to just look at the facts. You have to look at what he's done. I know that words have a lot of value, but I think the best metric we can have in an age where there's purportedly a lot of fake news is just to look at the facts. And the facts are, who has he appointed? What is their history? What are the facts of their history? There are a lot of Trump supporters in West Virginia. I understand why they support Trump. I understand that, there's...
It's that feeding the family thing. It's that threat of
why do you think,
feeding the family, all those things.
Why do you think that they do? I mean, why do you think that a community would go through this kind of trauma, face this kind of danger, and then also vote for someone who will almost certainly make it worse? I mean, how?
Well, I don't think for a lot of the people who live outside of the major cities, who are in Appalachia, who are in the West Belt, think that it's going to get worse under Trump. They believe that he will make things better. For a lot of them, things are about as bad as they can possibly be. So anything is better than how
some sort of a change. Yeah. So they already feel oppressed by the former administration, so then they go, we'll get somebody else in there because finally my luck might turn around. Finally something is going to be different. Your water's poisoned. Well, that's what you say, buddy.
Well, it's like more of the same or mystery box. So Donald Trump is this mystery box.
And people went for it.
Yeah, they did. And what's interesting is that you look at West Virginia, and there are more people in West Virginia who are using the Affordable Care Act than almost anywhere else in the country. So I think now, there's this interesting dichotomy where, oh gosh, well, people are having to question their decision, or they thought they'd get to keep the things that they liked about what had come under Obama, and that Trump would somehow fix the situation with oil and gas and whatever else.
He's Cullen Hoback. He's the director of What Lies Upstream at the Slamdance Film Festival. We're here in Park City, of course, doing our Nightside project episodes all this week. And is there anything? Is it just doom and gloom, Cullen? I mean, we look at this and say, "Hey, you're gonna watch this. You're gonna watch this doc and walk away and go, you know what? You're gonna be freaked out and you're gonna be scared. But anyway, have a great trip home." Or is there some hope in there too?
Well, we're still alive, so there's hope.
No, well, we have our life.
That's the baseline, Colin. Come on.
Well, you said you didn't think he was going to be elected.
I actually did think he was going to be elected up until I saw the polls going so aggressively in the favor of Hillary Clinton. And then the polls tipped my perspective, as they did many people in America.
A few people got fooled, yeah.
So when you have every poll coming back and saying, look, Hillary's going to be the candidate, I was like, fine, I'll make my edit based around a Hillary Clinton victory.
Did you have to recut your film?
Oh my gosh, I've spent the last 2 months completely retooling the film.
You're going back to B-roll and interviews that you're like, holy cow, this puts a whole different spin on everything that you're adding things in there that you go, now we can finally use that interview and it makes sense.
I mean, the whole story has a whole new context. Before I looked at West Virginia as being a story kind of that takes place in West Virginia, and Flint is something that takes place in Flint. And sure, these things are connected, and sure, the regulators have their problems, but these are sort of isolated incidents. Especially as we said before, it's a political thriller, right? So the political elements of this may be just West Virginia-centric. But now, when I watch the film, and I think when other people watch the film, they see what's happening there, they see what lobbyists are doing, they see the political machinations and mischief that's happening behind the scenes, and you can extrapolate from that and apply it to what's happening across the country. Back in the 2000s, at the time, Joe Manchin, he was a governor in West Virginia. He said, we're going to make West Virginia basically great again by opening everything up to business. He changed the slogan of the state to open for business. Just a month ago, you know what Donald Trump tweeted?
America's open for business.
America's open for business.
So psycho.
Did it sound like that though?
Well, that's how it sounded in my head.
These hands are tiny, and America's open for business. So, like, okay,
a little open sign. You pull the.
What's interesting is that, okay, I'll be honest. For me, I'm a pretty conservative guy. If I watch this and I look at the whole thing and I go, okay, I tried to look at yesterday as pretty positive. Hey, listen, yeah, somebody new is in, and but why can't there be a moving forward of the dialogue instead of just, hey, you know what, this guy, all he's going to do is quote unquote kind of ruin the next 4 years of your family being able to have clean drinking water or whatever it might be versus, I don't know. Again, I go back to the hope part where I go, hey, listen, I'm not a Donald Trump supporter, but I'm one of those optimists, you know. And
but what?
And I also watch the other side. But hold on, I watch the other side too, where you go, oh, it's going to be awful with Barack Obama, and it wasn't, and it's going to be awful with Donald Trump, and it probably won't be. Right? I mean, right? We have no idea. It's nice to be like.
But he's not like any other president.
He doesn't really respect the law. That's the problem that we have right now.
Yeah.
And if you have a
If
we are nothing but a nation that is built on law, then, I mean that's what we've got. I mean democracy is, and what makes America truly great is that we believe in the law and we respect the law. And my concern is that if we have a president who doesn't respect the law, who violates ethics laws, you know, America and the things that when you talked about how, you know, everything was better than you might have thought it was under Obama, those same principles might not apply. With
No, I mean, I knew.
I mean, if Obama respects anything, he respects the law.
Well, I think one interesting way, or at least a way that I kind of look at it is, for better or for worse, whoever was in the White House, we have, looking back now, we've really benefited from presidents who, while they may have represented a spectrum of ideology, have behaved themselves. And I'm not talking about, you know, affairs or whatever stuff. I'm talking about behave themselves as president. And I mean, I guess maybe it's too early to make a full-on judgment call this early in.
In one day, you killed 1,000 people.
But he's I don't think that that behaved is any word that would describe Donald Trump. I mean, I don't know how you analyze it.
How's the film being received so far, and what's the blowback been? Because I hear it'll be well received.
Except by Alex.
Well, no, I just don't. I want to ask questions. I'm one of those guys that likes to ask questions.
Give me your hardest hitting question.
I don't have a hard hitting question. My question is how. Okay, did not vote for Donald Trump. I see this perspective.
He wrote it himself. I just want to let you know. He wrote it.
I put myself for president. No, but I
every time.
But I want to know. Are you saying that it's a coincidence that big business drives guys like he and the former governor of what is it? The former governor, or is he still the governor?
He now senator.
Okay, so are you saying that they're just buddies? And it's a you know, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine type situation, or it's a hey, guys like this who are like business at all costs are bad news.
I think that anytime your primary obligation is to make as much money as possible, you're going to make decisions that are not in the interest of public health. And as a result of that, I think that we need to be very careful when we talk about regulations and when we talk about how we protect our water. Because in that sense, big business, whether they be chemical manufacturers or any kind of resource exploitation industry or extraction industry, you know, it's going to move in the direction of making the most money possible. So regulations protect us from that.
Right.
Of course we need energy. Of course we need, you know, these resources. We've needed them for a long time. But you can't have clean water and no regulations. That's a paradox.
How does Donald Trump do? How does Donald Trump then? If you were to walk in and they go, I'm going to give you 11 minutes with the president, and he's really actually very willing to listen to your message. What's that message?
Before he throws you in prison.
Before you get murdered. Before you get murdered, choked with tiny hands. We'll get some help in here. If these hands can't go around your neck. So what's the message you're going to drive?
I wanted to make some tiny hands.
Ivanka's got huge hands. She's a great helper. The best, actually. The best.
When we were recording, actually, with the voiceover, we were recording the voiceover of the film. At the end, there's this moment where I say it was in Donald Trump's hands to appoint more than 4,000 government employees, and his hands are like reached out, and I couldn't get through the voiceover. Like it's just his ridiculously small hands. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You narrated it too, right? Okay, so what is the message? Because where does he go? So if you said, Cullen, what could you tell the president? What's the direction he needs to go on the environmental side of things so that you can say, I feel more comfortable with this guy as president?
This is easy. I would separate politics from science. I would make it so that he doesn't get to a point where he's the head of the EPA. I would make it so that the scientists in this country
the DAP, what does he call it? The DAP.
Who determines the future of science in this country.
He didn't know the name of it, right? Isn't that the thing? He was like, the DDP is really, really weird. I'll give him a DDT, and it's 100% D. What did he call the EPA?
Well, he forgot. Well, he said the Department of Environmental. So he forgot the word protection, which I think is an important word.
Right, Department of Environmental
Environmental policeman.
Will you do your next film on Utah, on Salt Lake City's air quality? Because what you're describing here is exactly the problem that we have in Salt Lake, which is where we have this atrocious air problem because of the geography, right? But we have all this pollution, and no one is willing to come up with community rules regarding our air because...
No, the best thing to come up with is tell me at my house not to burn a fire at my house.
Right.
It doesn't matter what goes in the air from the industrial side of
things.
Don't burn a fire at my house or I'll get a ticket.
They don't want to do it because it would be hard for these polluting businesses or individual polluters. It would be hard for them to do this, so we're not going to ask them to do it. And it's a big problem in Salt Lake. Will you make that your next? I guess maybe it's unfair to put you on the hook like this, but
well, I don't know if I'll make something that's public health environmental related. I like to move to a different topic with everything I make, so that I can start from scratch. Well, I'm very interested right now in the voting system in this country.
Really?
And what's broken in that voting system. And I want to make sure that when our votes happen, that they count and they count correctly. So I think there's a lot of questions to be had in that space. So that's what I'm looking into.
So what if your project was people in Salt Lake voting on air quality?
Not able to vote because they couldn't breathe that day. It was a red alert day.
I can shoehorn this into anything.
It was a red alert day.
You want to do an action movie? Let's do one where Tom Cruise discovers a conspiracy about the air quality in Salt Lake.
I'm pretty sure there's some producers here who would take that pitch.
We've met some of them.
We've met some of them, yeah, absolutely. Hey,
all of them were drunk.
Well, you do have a bar outside. So
yeah, no, it's
not like you're not advocating.
It's the Nightside bar. That's exactly
you know what?
Right.
Frankly, if there's ever going to be a place where I'm going to get someone on the hook for a real shaky project, it's going to be at an open bar, right?
For sure.
If that's where
I'm pretty sure that's how Transformers got me.
No, I was going to say Transformers is actually a shaky project. No. One of the earthquake movies. Bad fun.
Anything Armageddon,
something like that.
Cullen Hoback is the filmmaker. His film is What Lies Upstream, and it's at Slamdance. And where can people find it who are listening to our podcast a few days or more from now?
What should they search for online?
Sure. Well, we have one more screening on Monday at 10 p.m. And then after that, we'll be at more festivals. We're talking with buyers right now. So we want to get the film out there as quickly as possible. It's timely. And it's important that everyone in this country, I think, understands the stakes related to their water. So you can visit liesupstream.com. That'll be the key resource, I think, for what's going to happen with the film moving forward. But I'd expect to see the film in fairly wide circulation within the next 6 months.
That's great.
Whatliesupstream.com? Is that what you said?
Liesupstream.com.
Perfect. Appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in and doing this. So.
All right. Well, we know you've had a full day. This is kind of
Sundance, right?
At least are we your last appointment, or have you got more to go? Because it's late.
Well, yeah, we're at, what, 10:30 now?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Now it's Dad's
I
pleasure.
believe it's my last appointment.
We did all the
for night.
business.
Hey!
Now I just, now I can go out to your bar.
Yeah, we got around right out here. Come out here and I'll sign you up for my Salt Lake City air quality project.
Yeah, and
I'm interested in that.
And I've got some essential oils I can throw you too. Get involved in that
Get
Emma line as
my
well.
downline.
We're good in Utah at the Pyramid Scheme.
And if it helps me sleep, why not?
You know what?
I'll try it.
I've got something for you. You need some essential amino acids. All right, we're taking the break here. The Nightside Project for Ethan Millard, Cullen Hoback, our guest today. We will see you on the flip side, everybody.